Hey folks, JD here, and today we're going to be giving this controller a little bit of a clean. I have taken the screws out. If I just flip it over, I can show you exactly what I've done. I've taken out the 6 from around the outside and the 1 from under here, and also there are 2 screws in by the expansion bay. I've taken out both of those and obviously removed the expansion card there as well. So that's it. That's all you've got from the outside. But if we have a little look, I've got all these marks inside here that I want to get rid of. So with that, let's just open this. Oh, also one thing to mention, I want to try and see what I can do about this. There's a little bit of travel, as we saw yesterday in the unboxing video, in this analog stick. And I want to see if I can stop that. It seems very gritty. And I reckon it's the lubricating powder that Nintendo have inside here is causing that grittiness. So what I usually do in my one other Nintendo controller that I've taken apart, I have removed the excess powder, or removed as much of the powder from inside here as I possibly can. I'm probably going to do exactly the same with this because I really don't like how that feels. If in time the analog stick or the mechanism on the inside needs to have any sort of lubrication, then I will apply a small amount of grease. But until then, I'm more than happy in taking the powder out of here because this sensation is absolutely horrible. So with this little pad I got here, it's a non-alcohol, non-abrasive, or non-static generating wipe that I'm going to be using to wipe down the inside of the case. So I'm just going to leave that there. So with that, let's take this off. It's a little bit of play usually because there's a couple of hooks in the back. But then once you get it off, it comes off quite square. That's what you have. So we have a look at the underside first. See, I can get rid of all these little black marks on the outside there. These buttons, the L and R button, I've got a couple of little marks in the top. I can sort all that out. That's not too bad. There's a looks like that might be a spider's leg inside there, just down there. So with that, I'm going to put this to one side because we're going to come back and look at that later. Here's what we're interested in right now. So here is the analog stick control bay here. We've got the L and R buttons up here. We've got the Z button there. So what I'm going to do first of all is just ever so gently open up that arm, that clamping arm, and remove the Z button. Be very careful. This here is not a ribbon cable. It is actually a wire. It's like those twist ties you get for your sandwich bags. Be very careful because too much movement in that might snap it or snap the solder from the board. So with that, we've got 3 screws. So I'm going to take my electrician screwdriver and I'm going to get rid of these 3 screws. So bear with me a second. Now in this video, I'm not going to be pulling apart. Oh look, there's another one of those. Oh, big line of dirt. I'm not going to be taking this bit off the front. I don't believe, unless I have any particular good reason to do it, because I don't want any of these joints or anything to come off. And quite honestly, anything that needs to be cleaned can be cleaned on the front of the controller, so I don't need to remove this board. So with that, I'm just going to make sure it's all in, which it is. This is an anti-static mat as well, by the way. And with that, I got to remove this little plug. I hate doing this. Oh, come on. There we go. Never a good way to remove those plugs, but unfortunately with the limited space, it is about the best way. And this is what we have. So we have our analog stick out here. So with that, we can see a little bit of the powder on the inside there. Not much, but a little bit. With that, I'm going to remove this screw here. So a word of warning, if you've never done this before, there is a big spring on the inside. And when you start to remove this, what I think is better, if you clamp the analog stick like this and remove the spring, then what you're going to find when you do eventually remove it, it won't ping off. Oop. So still holding it like that, it won't ping off and you won't get that powder everywhere. So I'm just going to remove this one screw. I'm going to remove those screws up there like that. And then you've got 2 little clamps on the top. I'm going to remove these clamps ever so gently because this plastic can be a bit brittle as well. And then, removing that. And there's not that much lubricating powder in here. See in the bottom there, you can just make out some powder. So Nintendo like to use lubricating powder. I don't like it at all. I think it causes the analog stick over time, and bear in mind a lot of these controllers are now 23, 25, 26 years old. It causes them to be very, very stiff, which is what I'm experiencing. And sometimes you can't get the analog stick to fully go in one way. So notice how this is put together. The black arm here, you've got the little bump facing upwards, and then the analog stick then is connected to that. So you're just going to twist the analog stick ever so slowly, remove the top bit, remove the spring and the little plastic washer, and then we're going to pull out the analog stick. And now with my little cloth, I'm going to go around and I'm going to remove all those black marks from the outside, hopefully. It's a very tricky little job because the analog stick is quite small. So I'm just going to remove the... There we go, I think that's done it. Oh no, still a little bit there. There we go. Just going to do a little bit more. Sorry, I'm off camera there a little bit. So I'm just going to do this with it. And then our analog stick should be 90% free of any black marks or staining. Which is it's just dead skin and people's what you would call it from their hands, oils and stuff over the years. So now that we've done that, I'm going to tap out the rest of this. We're holding on to the plastic there. I'm going to tap out what little bit is left of the lubricating powder in there. I don't really like it. It does cause, I believe it causes issues. I really dislike it. And then I'm going to put all this back together. So pop that back in, put that on there. Then pop, make sure that's nice and level on there. And then pop this back. And I'll explain to you in a minute. There we go, and that's all connected back in like that. And I'll explain to you in a minute what this little half cog does. So if you take the bottom part of your assembly, without touching the PCB, I'm just going to do this to show you. Do you see in there? There's a little sort of line that's just carved out from the PCB board, or from the printed circuit board rather. And inside there, you've got what looks like a cog. Well, that's what that fits into. The same is on this side as well. And when you move the analog stick, this is what moves the aperture at the bottom, which then tells the character on screen which way to go. So I just need to make sure it lines up. So if I turn this around the right way, you will see that that is pretty much lined up, because when we turn it, it's going to fit in there perfectly. And hopefully then, once we push it in, clip that in like that, we should have, that's a much nicer movement, that is. Much nicer. Now obviously you've got a little bit of powder out here, not a lot in this one. I have seen some controllers and they're just matted in the stuff. But of course, over the years, I think Nintendo used it, because to be honest, I don't imagine that they thought that we'd be using these controllers 23 or so odd years after the console was made. So I thought they probably thought, do you know what, we'll use the powder, it's cheap and cheerful, which it is. It's used in a variety of other mechanical places. But of course, it can cause a bit of stiffening over time. Listen to that. That's lovely. There's nice tension all the way around. It zeroes back into the center. I'm really happy with that. I think that's great. So with that now, I'm going to replace that back in. I'm just going to check, actually. Do I need to clean the inside there? Not really. No, that's all right, isn't it? So with that, I'm just going to pop it back in. And then I'm going to reverse what I did. So I'm going to click that in. Then I'm going to get these 3 silver screws. I'm going to put that down first, actually. Running out of hands here. And I'm going to secure the middle one at the bottom first. And get that lined up. And then once that is secure, don't do it fully tight. Only do it a little way tight, because we're going to go around and we're going to tighten them all when this is properly done. Ooh. It's just so that it can line up properly, and then we can flip the controller around and just make sure that it works before I fully tighten everything. Right. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Really nice. Okay. So then I'm going to do half a turn more. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So that's that. We're going to put the Z button back in there ready. That's the Z button. Oh. All locked in there. Perfect. Okay. Other than that, let's have a look at this port there. It's in really good nick. Really happy with that. It's not that much deterioration on it, considering it's been out to the elements. Really happy overall with the inside of how this whole controller looks. It looks really, really smart. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm just going to clean, get in my non-abrasive, non-alcohol, or non-alcohol wipe that is not static generating. I'm just going to go around and I'm just going to clean up some of these black marks on here and just remove them like that. And then we'll have, when the controller gets put back together, man, we're going to have a really good looking controller then. So if I just get rid of all of this stuff here, get rid of all this stuff around the outside, get rid of all the outside around there as well. Oh, look at that. And then it only takes a few minutes, it does, but eventually it's going to look really smart. And then we can do the outside of the controller. The outside of the controller looks okay. I'll just wipe it around there a few times. So there's a couple of marks there I haven't done. There we go. And then pop this in. Now, the one thing that always gets me whenever I put the N64 controller back is the L and R button. They always move around a little bit, so prepare for me to do that a few times. I might even shorten the sequence if it's a bit too long. There we go. Look at this over this side here now. So if I then put this in here and then get rid of that, look, all comes off like that. It just means that it looks a little bit nicer. There we go. And then getting rid of that bit as well. I love tearing down the N64 controllers. They're so easy. And when you clean them up, especially the coloured ones, they look so much better. How does that look so far? Look at that. So much nicer across the three prongs. And again, I'm just going to do this bit here. Look, there's a little bit there. So I'm just going to scrub that off a little bit there now and do that bit there by the button. There we go. And just bring it back to its former glory. Oh, our button came out a little bit. There we go. And then that's generally it. Look, you could go a little bit deeper if you wanted to. There's a little bit there, look, that I missed. There we go. If I can get that out. Now, even though these wipes are anti-static, I wouldn't recommend you using them on the printed circuit boards at all. There we go, look. Now look at that. It has made a bit of a difference. Give the inside a bit of a wipe there. And that's you. Look at that. Really nice. And then we're going to do the L and R first. See, there's often little lines at the top here. See there? So we're just going to get rid of that. I mean, it's just where people's fingers have been. But I'd quite like to just clean these out. As I've got the controller open, kill two birds with one stone sort of thing. There we go, L and R. And now we've got the bottom bit. So around the outside where the L and R buttons are, see? So if I just get rid of that there as best I can and see what I can do with that. There we go. And then round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. And then the same around here. Get a clean bit of cloth. And then just clean this off like that. Get rid of all these black marks around there. There we go. And around the front here a little bit as well. And clean all that down. I mean, it doesn't take long. And the result is quite nice. Like this bit over here, see? We'll get rid of all of that. Looks better already. And then get rid of that. And then do a little bit of this on the side there. That looks so much better, doesn't it? That looks so much better. Oh, got to put that prong back in. Right, there we go. Where did that come from? I got a feeling that came from, oh, that snapped. So where did you snap from? I think you snapped from the back here somewhere, maybe. Okay, well, all 6 of these are intact. That's intact. I can see 2 of those up there. So maybe this came from around about there, because there's no shearing on any of that. Could just be, oh, I think that was to attach that to. Is that from back in there? No, it's not. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that there anyway. Just going to clean this down a little bit more. I mean, that does happen. These controllers are old. The plastic will start, you will get plastic fatigue, and it will start to sort of not crumble, but things will start to snap. Oh, let's push that in there a little bit more secure. So just to recap, L and R and Z are all attached there. If I get the L and R buttons ready on here too. So there's a knack, and I always get the knack wrong, and it is, you connect it like that and then pull it out fully. Connect it like that so it's in the hole, and then you pull it out fully. And then, hopefully, we do this on first try, but I doubt it. Ooh. There we go. Perfect. And let's just make sure Z's works. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. That is perfect. Happy with that. Massively happy with that. Okay, so let's just turn it over quickly. Lovely. And now I'm missing this bit because this bit has come off. I could super glue it back in, I suppose. Yeah, I could. I'm going to keep that. I might do at some point, but I'll put back in these as I'm keeping this controller. It's not really the end of the world. It's my spare for my other one that doesn't, that I'm pretty sure has been on its arse for a couple of years, but it's still working. So, and then the next thing to do then is to give this a try. So let's put this in, and these, just to let you know, when you're screwing these in, is usually about 2 1/4 turns, and that's it. It's all the way in. Well, that was a little bit more, and it's all in. That's a little bit tighter. There you go. That was better. That was like 2 1/4 turn. So easy to over tighten these and then to snap them. So easy. There we go, that's in. And then we've just got the one middle one. I'm going to have a screw left over because, of course, it's the bit that's snapped in there. But there we go, that's all in now. And now I'm just going to do the 2 top ones. This is going to be a little bit fiddly, perhaps. Lucky I've got a slightly magnetised. It's not too magnetised, but it is enough just to line everything up in there. Again, not doing it too tight. Going to put them both in. And then once they're seated, I'm then going to tighten it up. So that's in. Now let's tighten that up. These, again, the N64 screws are really nice because they tighten and then they stop. And that's your controller. Yeah, really happy with that. Everything works. And that horrible grinding has gone from there now. Perfect. And then what I'm going to do is shove this in the back. Let's go test. Oh, actually, before we do... No. Jump in the gun. Jump in the gun. I've got to give this a wipe, haven't I? Across the outside here a little bit. Let's give this a good wipe around here. There's still a little bit of discoloration in the Nintendo. I don't really mind if I can't get it 100%. But I'm going to try and get it as good as I can. There's quite a bit of dirt on there. What's that little bit on there? I'm not going to scrape too hard. I'm just going to try and loosen it a little bit with the screwdriver. I don't want to damage the screwdriver. There we go, look. I don't want to damage the screwdriver or damage the plastic on this. So then let's just wipe the back of it as well then. Get it all nice. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. And that's it. There's a little bit of dirt around the seat, but there we are. I can clean that another time. But that's it. That's pretty much the tear down, put back together. Now, as I said previously, let's go and test it. All Alright then folks, I thought for this test we would give Buck Bumble a little bit of a go. It's been a long time since I've played that. I've taken the controller, got my memory card inserted, and I've connected it all up. It's looking really good. I've still got a clean little bit of the EC, as I said in the last, in the video. But so far, I'm hoping it works. It looks really nice though. I'm really happy with how that's come out. Let's look at it in a slightly different light. Look at that. Really has come out really nice. Really happy with that. So, let's give this a go. Argonaut Software, they were responsible for a lot of different games back in the day. Star Fox, notably, and a load on the Amiga as well. So let's see. Start one-player game. So, Rumble Pack is not inserted. So the A button is working. Let's see if the directional is working. Yes, it is. So Z is fire by the look of it. So what is increase? Or A is increase. Or A is fly. So the analog stick is working and it feels really nice. Now I've got rid of that excess. I really dislike that powder anyway. But now I've got rid of it. It feels so much better. So let's go around as Mr. Buck Bumble and let's collect all of our little Bumble coins. I don't know if that's what they're called, but that's what I'm calling them. Oh, it's quite, it's quite difficult to get a perspective on it, but I'm just going to keep going. But it's working 100%, and Buck Bumble is absolutely steaming it away. So I'm really glad that this is working. Let's try the shoulder buttons. Yeah, there's R and there's L. Beautiful. Yeah, really good. Really good. Really glad that the repair, or the clean job and slight repair, actually worked properly. Oh, I fell over because I crashed. Come on, let's go up. Go, 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 go. It's really difficult to see if I am actually climbing. Yeah, really happy with all that. I think that is great. There we are, fantastic. Well, we've tested it, it works, and that's everything. All right then, my friends. Well, I hope you found this video informative and interesting. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy gaming.